As much as I love the first three episodes of Orb, I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie, because when you take away who was my enjoyment of this show, to then introduce me to new characters, there is a risk, especially because of how good Rafa was as a character. But they did it. I didn't think it was gonna crash and burn, but I was truly expecting episode 4 to not sell me as hard as Raffle did, and it might take me a few episodes to truly come to terms with the new characters. But in fact, the two characters we are following this episode, Gross as well as... We are running into an issue here. We have Polish names being said by Japanese VAs and trying to be interpreted by English speakers. This is the worst game of telephone. But according to some YouTube videos, because I went and looked at some Polish people saying this name, is it Oche? Like, is that how you say Oche? I don't know. MC. MC and Gross. Polish, if you actually know how to say Polish names, not some random ass English speaker, no. Polish people, because I know there were some Polish people who watched my video, please tell me how the hell to say this dude's name, because I don't know. But these two guys are fascinating. Their job is literally to kill people who are having duels with other people. So they pick up, they're basically the hired men to handle duels. And the idea that you have this almost scaredy cat, this cowering in your own shell, going by the rules, but clearly wanting to probably find something more happy in life. The idea that he's so worried about not going to heaven himself because everyone he sends to what should be heaven, look like they're about to go to hell. So how could a murderer like him ever get there? And then you have Gross, who basically at one point tried to off himself, and since then has really struggled to find a purpose. And the unfortunate thing for him is he monitored Mars at the wrong time because it never completed that circle. And I'm just like, I don't know if who we were speaking to at the end was a character we knew from 10 years ago, because he is wearing the amulet, the orb, that our main character Raffles was. So are we in a situation where it's going to be his adoptive father who decided to continue on, or is this a random ass guy who ended up, finding the box before them? Either way, Orb did it. And I feel like this is going to be a show with a lot of characters we're going to have to call MC, because the studies are going to get many people killed, I'm convinced. I have full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my full thought to any of this wonderful anime. It's over there exclusively. So, honestly, I never knew this, but apparently this is an award-winning manga. And this is also going to be a complete adaptation. I knew it was going to be a 2-core anime, but I didn't realize it was a shorter manga. So, we actually are going to get a complete story. And if they can continue at the pace they're going, now we've seen 4 episodes, forget even calling this anime of the season. I won't be surprised if I call this anime of the year. 100%. Now, there's a lot of great anime, I mean, don't get it wrong, but, if you would have told me, say, around spring of this year, that I'd be considering a show about characters discovering they are not, in fact, the center of the universe as my anime of the year, not even season of the year, I might say, it's not impossible, but that's a funny joke given some of the stuff I've already seen. But no, that's where we're going. So, the initial shot, I thought they were robbers. So what's great about this show is how they so unexpectedly pull the rug from underneath you, and you say, wait a second. I mean, they literally did that when they killed off who was supposed to be the MC. So when they put on the mask, I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're bandits? Like, what the hell? No, it's way more interesting than that. So, there's duels, whatever caused the duel to happen. It's a legal thing. They got the paperwork and everything. But like with most duels throughout history, you can have a champion. So the rich people, they hire people like them to do the duels. And honestly, it's kind of disturbing. So, after the dude gets stabbed, right? The way his body, lifelessly and motionlessly just falls to the ground is so realistic that it actually disturbed me. I was like, okay, that's worse than seeing a head get cut off. There was something just so limp about that just really rubbed me the wrong way, but goddamn, was it wonderfully done for the show. The two characters out of the two, I think Gross is the most interesting as it stands, but I think they definitely want us to focus on Ochi, whatever his damn name is, you know what I'm saying. Because the type of person he is, by himself, I feel like wouldn't be a great MC, because he's the type of guy currently to just go with the flow. He's like, hey, this dude's telling us we need, look at the bar scene. Two very different interactions. So they're like, hey, people like you shouldn't be drinking in here. It's for people like us. One saying, that's true, yeah, we don't want any trouble, but we're also allowed in here. Deal with it. Versus, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm pathetic, I should never have been born, Jesus Christ, please. And he's like, see, if you just apologize a lot, they let you stay. Out of the two, one's very much more rootable as it stands. But I think it's very clear that this guy's gonna have a breakthrough, because for a character who's basically terrified to die, you know, the whole idea of basically like, eternal paradise comes once we leave this earth, right? We go to heaven and it's even better. To have a job that constantly has you end people's lives, even though at face value they're believing this is okay, like this is all according to the law, they broke the law, they lost, blah blah blah, whatever it is, right? But every time someone looks back, they tell him to go to hell, or they have such fear in their eyes. How could someone who's about to approach heaven have that type of fear? And if they're having that type of fear because they know they're going to hell, well then why would I not also follow in their footsteps when my time comes? It's a very compelling character arc, and hopefully the journey of learning the truth about the world will be something to open his eyes and give him more confidence. But I think Ross as a character is interesting because he actually did try to end his own life, and the fact that, you know, he repents, he does all this stuff, but if anything, he's just regretful that he survived. And it's such an interesting thing because despite, you could easily tell him at face value, just because Mars didn't do a full circle doesn't mean it's pointless. But imagine for 2 years studying and noticing the trajectory. It's a perfect circle, right? It's a perfect circle. And the dude in the bar literally told them, like, hey, it ain't gonna work out. You picked the wrong day. So this dude knows a lot more about the stars than he probably lets on at face value. But the idea that it then it starts the rotation back. Now, a lot of the belief, most likely from how he was observing things, kind of comes from, you know, well, Earth is in the center of everything, so everything's gonna do a perfect circle around us, but that's not necessarily the case. It still is a very good discovery nonetheless, but it's not the one he was looking for, and it leaves him, I'm surprised he didn't jump right there. I mean, it was not looking good. And then obviously we get the next mission here, and this dude, we can't see his face, and the idea that he's wearing the same necklace that Raffo did, I'm almost positive, and we set him free, and now we're going to the mountains to find the books, which we know they do end up finding because at the end of episode 3 we see them open the chest. But now we see what caused them to get pushed to that direction. But my question still is, who the hell is this dude? Was he just someone who randomly discovered it, or is this a character connected to Raffle? I don't know, but either way, they did it. They've introduced new characters and a pretty decent time skip, and it's just as engaging for me as the first 3 episodes. Thoughts down below, let me know what you're thinking, and also, do you want to see more videos on this one? You let me know. You should leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we have full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got here in 12, Sean Cafferkey, Wayne Delquist, Juicium, we also have Marco Sun, so I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.